It's Thursday, which means we get a brand new lap time challenge to go ahead and tackle. And this time around, we've got the Group 4 Open class over at Willow Springs on the Big Willow Layout. So when it comes to player choice, there's plenty of it. Anything from front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive, you name it, you can go ahead and use it. So here we are then, a lap time challenge at Willow Springs International Raceway on the Big Willow Layout. This is of course for the Group 4 category of vehicles. As for the finer details, it's a pretty typical affair. Top 3% is gold and 2 million, top 5% is silver and 1 million, and top 10% is bronze and 250k. The track is Willow Springs International Raceway on the Big Willow Layout with an entry period of the 17th of April until the 1st of May. Usable tyres and types are racing hards, intermediates and wet, but you'll only need the racing hards here. Category of car is of course Group 4, wide body prohibited, and the same with nitrous and overtake. BOP is set to mid-speed. Car used is a garage car or event specified, and your car settings will be specified by the game. As for race settings, track limit is set to normal, and penalty, well, both of them will invalidate your time. As for the time trial itself, it's a pretty brutal one, I'm not gonna lie here. If you weren't a fan of Big Willow prior to this, then honestly this isn't going to change your mind. It features a lot of desert and a lot of slippy long runoff areas in which you can crash quite easily, so just be warned. So let's move in to the general tips then. Of course, this is the section of the video where I'll give you some general tips on how to work your way through this one. And of course, the first, as always, is going to be turn those assists off. Yes, we have a lot of choice here, whether it's front wheel drive, rear wheel drive, four wheel drive or whatever, but I fully recommend just having all of the assists off no matter the type of vehicle you're using. It will just entirely bog you down. Even if you're not the most confident player in the world, I recommend just turning them off one by one to the point you have no assists on. And to make it a little bit easier, go ahead and work out which car you want to use so you can adjust to that car's driving style. It's the exact same with manual transmission. Pick the car you want to run with, learn its gears and get it in a manual transmission. This way you have entire control over your car, and again you can just build up that muscle memory and confidence with that specific vehicle. Next up, let's move into one that is more specific to the track itself, and that is beware of the sand. Yes, Big Willow features a lot of desert long runoff areas, and the slightest touch on the sand will more than likely just send you flying off into the distance, either into a barrier or stranded out in the middle of the desert. So just be aware of it and just proceed with caution on your first few warm-up laps. And that's going to move me into the final general tip, which is choose a car for you. Again, the meta might be the fastest car overall, but that car might not suit you. Maybe an MR car doesn't suit you, but a four-wheel drive does. Same with rear-wheel drive and front-wheel drive. There's a lot of car choice here, and while some might not be the outright fastest, you're probably going to be faster in a car that you are specifically comfortable with. Don't always be forced to go for the quickest car overall, as again, it just might not suit your driving style. And again, it might differ whether you're a controller or a wheel user. Let's talk about the cars then. Now, since we don't have a specific car, I'm going to talk about the Group 4 class as a whole. So let's call it Group 4 Open, which it very much is. This class features everything from rear wheel drive, front wheel drive, four wheel drive, MR. Just choose a car that is your personal best, something that suits your specific driving style. Now, as for specific vehicles that seem to be standing out in each of these drivetrains, Supra, the Megane Trophy, the 458 and the Genesis G70 all seem to do the job typically well. In terms of the cars themselves, if you cannot find one that specifically suits you, just go ahead and experiment with different cars. Clearly there's plenty to choose from here. Next up, I've kind of mentioned it, but beware of the curbs and the sand. Again, just with the way that Big Willow is laid out, it's incredibly tricky. If you get stuck in that sand, it's probably going to drag you away, and some of the curbs can really upset specific vehicles. And of course, since we're on the racing hard compound of tyres, do a few laps before you go and set your optimum lap to ensure that the tyres are kind of at that optimum temperature. So just be aware that you're probably not going to do your fastest laps straight away. You'll probably need to put a few out laps in first just to get them up to that peak place. So let's move into the lap then. Again, this is a very early lap. It's more than likely going to improve over the next couple of weeks, and it was a time of a 1 minute 18.181 using the Ferrari 458. Again, I might experiment with other cars, but let's talk about turn 1. Brake just before the 50 board and get your car into 4th gear. Now, honestly, it's not as tricky as it looks, and it's probably a much quicker left-hander than you originally expect. Now, I did touch the sand there a little bit. Thankfully, I got away with it. We're then going to sweep over to the left before going back to the right. Now, again, we're going to get on the brakes early, and we're going to maintain the car in 5th gear. I have seen some players go ahead and boot the car into 4th. So again, it's just all about the speed that you're carrying, and if you feel like you need to dip into 4th, then feel free. Again, maintain it with throttle control and then full throttle on exit, out to the left and then back to the right. Get ready to brake just before the 50 board once again, and you're actually going to get the car into 2nd gear for a slight moment before short shifting up to 3rd to maintain stability and traction. Then you're going to do pretty much a rinse and repeat. Go out nice and wide, get the car into 2nd for a slight bit, and then go ahead and short shift to 3rd once again. Then it's going to be full throttle on exit before doing a little bit of a cut here. Now again, I'm losing a bit of time here honestly, and I can't quite perfect it. So 4th gear, as the curb ends, drop it into 3rd, get over to the left hand side. Sometimes the car might try and run out wide here, but again, you want to aim for a very clean exit. I didn't quite get it, and that is where I'm losing the majority of my time for this overall lap. Then it's absolute full throttle to probably one of the trickiest corners in the entirety of Gran Turismo 7. So get it on the inside and get ready to go out nice and wide. Now honestly, I just cannot quite get this perfect. Typically just after the 150 board is when I'll brake, put the car in 5th gear, and then just let off the gas and then put it back in to bring myself onto the inside of the apex, and then kind of line it up so I go back out wide down the main start finish straight. At that point it's full throttle and up across the line. So there we go, that is a lap of the Big Willow at Willow Springs, and honestly it's perhaps one of the most awkward and personally one of my weakest tracks in the entirety of GT7. It's an incredibly awkward track layout, however if you do end up nailing a lap here, it is incredibly rewarding, there is no doubt about that. A huge thank you to all of my channel members listed on screen now, and a huge thank you to all of you guys watching at home. If you think I've missed anything in this guide, or there's a specific car that you feel could help out the community down in the comment section below, then do exactly that. Slap it in the comment section and let everybody else know. So for you guys that might have followed the channel for a while, this one's kind of specifically for you. Of course, you've probably known the journey I've gone on over the last 4 or 5 months at this point. It's been a pretty hectic period, and you may have noticed that I was kind of away from YouTube over the last week. The only thing I was posting up was just random shorts every now and again. The main reason for that is because at the end of the day, I just wanted to take some time away from YouTube, get myself on a holiday or vacation, whatever you call it, and just kind of refresh myself personally so that I can come back better than I have been in a long time. So again, if you're just wondering why I've been gone for a while, that's just exactly why. I just took some time away. I am back now, and I'll be back to posting, you know, hopefully daily content or every couple of days or so. So a huge thank you for your patience. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.